Is it simple? Just you could just write down a program for somebody. If somebody says, "Hey, get my squat up," is it pretty simple just to write down the program, or does it take more?
I have to see some video, and then I can I have to correct their technique first, or else it'll go nowhere. It'll just go all the way down. It'll start really well because everyone can lift lightweight with bad form with no repercussions. You start adding a little weight, and the law of diminishing returns start happening.
Say that one again.
Everyone lifts lightweight really easy with bad form. When you start adding weight on, the law of diminishing returns. All of a sudden, gravity works, and it pulls you in all different ways. If the bars, a typical thing is you can't do a real wide squat stance with super heavy weight with a high bar squat where you put the bar, or else it'll just pull you forward eventually. You can't do a bench a certain way where your elbows flare with really heavy weight, or else you'll blow your shoulders out eventually. So a lot of the concepts that I learned for powerlifting was because I started off bodybuilding, and I was a voracious reader for all the books, all the magazines. I looked at all the pros. I still know all the pros' names from all the old days when it was like the AAU Mr. America and stuff like that.
I love it. I love it. Diminishing returns is something that I don't think people really comprehend. They believe you eat right, you stay consistent in the gym doing whatever it is you do, and within time, you'll be in great shape. And I try to explain, well, in a perfect world, that'd be nice, but your body adapts. You need to change it. You gotta shock it. And diminishing returns is a funny thing because I think in today's society, with anybody out there that hasn't really stand on the platform, hasn't held the trophy, hasn't competed, they don't understand the concept of you do need to get better. You do need to put a fight in. And if you're doing the same thing day in and day out, that's great. But like you said earlier, are you really hitting it? Are you really connected to it? Is your form right? Diminishing returns is a huge thing.
Yeah, if you're not getting, there's a whole bunch of different ways to get better. Like we said, you can lift more weight. You could, let's say, do more reps. You can get leaner. You can get bigger. You can get in better cardio shape. You can all these little things. What you got to try to do is mesh them all a little bit together, and then you last a really long time because of it. Now, it doesn't matter if. A lot of times it doesn't matter if a guy competes or not. They'll say, I'm a power lifter, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm a strongman. Have you ever done a contest? No. I've always needed some type of goal that I could focus on to get me going. I had to have an end goal, and usually it was a contest. Now, I preferred gym training more than I did the platform because I got in it to be bigger and stronger. I mean, I got in it because I watched Pumping Iron like everyone else with Arnold and Franco, and I ended up choosing Franco because Arnold was too tall for me. And so Franco was a little short, strong guy, and then, I saw Kaz on TV, and I was like, wait a second, holy shit. And it was like a duct of water. So I realized that was really my calling because all of a sudden that's when my heart opened up to powerlifting. And I figured, you know what? If I can get the strongest that I can get, I'm going to look pretty damn good anyways. So I didn't worry about it. So I didn't have to worry about that factor anymore as my end result. So my end result in my mind changed from looking like a bodybuilder to just being strong as hell. But I knew if I wanted to get strong as hell, I still had to get all these other things strong. So in the off season, let's say a bench routine for me. I benched, I did close grips, I did inclines, I did flies, I did dips, I did dumbbell presses, I did all these things. But the main heavy exercises, I would cycle almost like a powerlifting routine because I wouldn't want them to get all strong too. I didn't concentrate on the pump in that, where I could have probably got bigger. My my end result was I want to get my incline stronger. I wanted to get my dip stronger. I wanted to get my shoulders stronger, which would aid my bench press. So one way or another, you still have to build muscle. It's just the end result changes just a little bit.
I love it. I love it. And I love the fact that I know this all started by can you write up a routine? Well, not really. Not if you really want to care about somebody and give them a good bench routine. You'd need to see their form. You'd need to understand. You'd break it down. You'd see there's so much to it. And
it's almost the same as what you have to do. You know, I have to see it, and then I can break down and look at where they're weak at, and then I design the program from there to work on their weak points to make them less weak in areas. You can look at body parts and say what exercise they have to bring up. So it goes hand in hand.